What is going on, everyone? We are back with the HUSLA podcast. And if you're listening to this, then you're having a good day. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm sitting here now with the one and only, actually, no, not the one and only, the entire Thrive Stronger team, the one and only Mona.
Yes.
Who works with Anthea at Thrive and coaches all of the queens out there. Anthea, you want to...
Yeah, so welcoming Mona onto the podcast. I'm really excited to get Mona on the potty to chat more about her journey and sort of how she started in the fitness industry. She's been working with Thrive since 2021.
Years.
We've known each other since 2018, since I was doing my PT course. Yeah. So a very, very long time.
It's actually been insane to just like reflect on that as well. Like I feel like a lot of people don't actually know the history that we have, like even us three.
I don't really fully know it.
Of us?
Yeah, I don't fully know. Like I know you guys met along the way. I don't know where, how, that
Wow.
sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay, so well, we're going to dive into deep.
Yeah.
We're going to dive in deep with that.
Yes, let's do it.
So first question that we just want to get to know you and sort of where your journey started.
Hold on. How'd you guys meet? I need to know this now.
No.
We'll get...
Wait. There's a whole thing.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm jumping the gun here.
So
where did your journey start with your training? So as a lifter and then as a coach?
Okay, so I feel like my introduction to health and fitness wasn't the brightest. So a little bit of context. My parents are first generation here. I grew up in an Arab household. I am one of three. I'm also the oldest and a female. And so my parents ran a very, very tight ship. And looking back, I feel like it was from a place of love and them wanting like the best for us. But as I aged and I got into like my teen years and, you know, turned 18, everyone around me like gained all this freedom and like ability to do what they want. And I felt quite restricted. And so I wanted to gain like all this control in my life. And unfortunately that manifested into really trying to take control of my nutrition and exercise. And so with the exercise side of things, I was mortified to get a gym membership. And so what I ended up doing is downloading ebooks off the internet, like every young girl. Yeah, shout out to Kaylee. It's Signs. Bikini body. What is it?
Yeah, bikini body guide.
Yeah, something like
28.
that.
It's a 28-day
like
guide.
The body weight, like.
Yeah, body weight circuit. It goes for
stuff.
28 minutes, right?
Yeah, but
Does it work?
I did it religiously. I did it religiously. I swear to God, religiously. I fully remember like even just like I used my study as like this exercise room and I pushed like all the furniture to the side and it just became like my exercise room.
What does it like a day of like that program look like?
Like we're talking like star jumps, burpees, like renegade rows, like, and there was, the thing is that there was like legs and quads, even though legs and quads are like the same thing. But there was like particular days that you could do, but it was just a guide. And
What was it supposed to give you?
a bikini body. You were meant to be, meant to be shredded for summer.
The star jumps is unbelievable.
But it was all body weight. Like there was like, maybe you could take on like 2 kilos and that's all I had. I literally had like 2 kilo dumbbells, and it was just body weight stuff. Yeah.
Killer.
So that was kind of like my introduction to exercise. It kind of got a bit like, I would pretty much exercise every day. If I missed a session, I would double up or I would train in the morning, train at night. Like, and from an external perspective, you could almost think that I was like trying to better my health and look after myself.
She's so committed. Yeah.
But looking back, it was definitely from a place of like self-loathe, self-hate, pretty much using like exercise as a form of punishment.
Yeah. Which I think is very common for teenage women who are getting into fitness.
I reckon that's how I started too.
Yeah.
Hated the way I looked. And then,
a lot of it stems from like body dysmorphia, especially I think, and not to bring gender into it too much, but look, women aren't as involved in sports as men, and obviously sports are very like outcome driven with a goal and very performance driven. And if women aren't as involved in sports when they're growing up as well,
the meme out there is, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the meme out there is that guys start training to get chicks, and then they realize that the only people that like them are other guys. Like not in a homosexual way, but like you think that the body's gonna get you the girls that you want, but then you just get compliments from other guys saying, "Oh, you look great, bro." So, but does that not mean that I know for me that I wanted to change the way I looked. Yeah, of course, I wanted to be more beautiful in the eyes of women and men and all that sort of stuff.
100%.
In everyone. But is that not that's like starting from insecurity, right? You want to change the way that you look because you're not happy with it,
Yeah.
I would say that like 90% of people watching this would be like, whether they want to admit it or not, they'd be like, oh yeah, I started to, because I was probably insecure,
100%.
For sure.
But also just because you want to change the way that you look, and like sometimes that can stem into like really extreme ways, but you not be aware of that.
For sure.
I think there's obviously nothing wrong with wanting to change the way that you look and chase after body composition goals. I think it's just when we look back in hindsight, it's like, oh gosh, I actually did that from a really unhealthy place, and I actually went to unhealthy lengths to achieve that. So tell us a little bit more about your journey.
So that was kind of like the exercise side of things, and then with the nutrition side of things, I had no knowledge, but I had access to the internet, and diet culture has been around for a very long time, and so I instantly fell into the trap of demonizing certain food groups, putting foods into good and bad categories, completely eradicating like certain food groups from my diet, and like the one that got really got like the absolute rip out was carbs. Like it was just
same with Jay.
It was just like it was like I just couldn't eat carbs. Like I stuck to my veggies. I stuck to my
They're so bad.
Salads, like no breads, no rice.
I can't even look at them still.
Jason did keto.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah. Well, I feel like to an extent I probably
did that for years.
Yeah. I feel like to an extent, that's essentially what I did as well.
That was the goal.
Yeah.
So when you say diet culture, that's what you mean. Diet culture it's the negative way of looking after your health.
Yeah. So that's kind of like where my health and fitness journey started. It was from a place of wanting control over my life, and the only way that I really felt like I could control it was through exercising and nutrition.
How old were you?
Then it was like around 18, 19, 20. So yeah.
Late high school.
Yeah, late high school.
Yeah, sick.
And then obviously after that I graduated high school, and I fell into this trap of what the fuck am I going to do now? And I dipped my toes into primary school teaching. I did placement at a primary school and found out very, very quickly I did not want to be a teacher.
I feel like you'd be a good teacher.
You reckon?
Yeah, you'd be a good miss.
I don't know. I don't think I can tolerate kids that much.
Yeah, my patience.
Any kids out there? Jeez, come on, man.
Yeah, literally.
Settle down, would ya?
So teaching wasn't for me, and then I've always had a really big fascination in like psychology, like human behavior, human psyche, behavior change. Till this day, like love all of this stuff. But I think my level of commitment to actually getting a full degree in psychology just wasn't there. And so I started thinking like, what else am I really interested in? And it happened to be like health and fitness at the time. And so I applied for AIPT and did a Cert 3-4 and diploma in fitness. I think that was like a very pivotal point in my life, because I wasn't like surrounded by like-minded people, but I was surrounded by people that challenged my beliefs. Like, what do you mean that I can start actually eating for performance? What do you mean this is how I get stronger? Like, I hadn't really had exposure to that. So that was kind of like how I kind of started to lean away from maybe the more so toxic behavior toxic behavior, to kind of opening my eyes to maybe a different path. And so after that, I they offered me a job. So I worked in the city and I oversaw like a small gym, like straight after my Cert 3-4 and diploma in fitness. I was working at a gym.
Yeah, that's sick.
Crazy
Straight
though.
in the deep end.
Yeah.
Straight in the deep end,
Awesome.
yeah. The imposter
Yeah.
syndrome
Did you
that you
have support
have when you first finish a PT course is like the scariest thing ever.
Yeah.
So scary.
Massively.
I felt it for 3 years.
Yeah.
Actually, no, like 5 years. But did you have support in this role?
There was one other. So there was me and another guy that did the cert with me. So we basically like were bouncing off each other. He was like very like business orientated though. So I was kind of very much leaning on him for his help and support. But it was a gym that was going to go down, and that's probably why they put like 2 amateurs just like to run the show.
You take care of it.
Yeah, literally. But it was a cool experience. I then moved to a boutique studio, which is
where we met.
Yeah. But I feel like we'll get into that topic a little bit deeper.
Can I quickly ask?
Go.
Did the gym go down?
Yes. Like fully went down.
Damn, I shouldn't laugh. That's fine.
No, but
Yeah.
I knew that it would,
You
and I
called
knew I knew that that's probably why they put me in that position.
Yep.
But it was a great opportunity.
For sure.
So met at the boutique studio. After that, I worked out of Good Life. I just remember calling you, being like, "Should I take this opportunity?" That was also a really, really big part of
What
my
did I
journey.
say?
Do you want to go into it now?
If you want, I can't remember what I said.
I remember you saying
F
no, yeah.
Don't
Pretty
do
much.
it.
You were like, my personal experience with Good Life wasn't the best, but I feel like it'll be a good opportunity for you to grow as a coach. And it was. I feel like coaching out of there, I realized like who I wanted to work with. I ran my own business. I think I became a more refined PT at that time because I was still doing hours on the gym floor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I did hours on the gym floor.
Let's talk more about that, like in terms
good
of
to do that.
like
Yeah.
getting clients in a big box gym. Like, what are the sort of things that you need to do to get clients there?
Yeah, it was really interesting because obviously there wasn't really leads. It was people coming in who have just been sold memberships and you just had to reach out to them. Whether they wanted coaching or not, it was like just something that you had to do. You would give them a call and you would try and sell yourself to them. And so what I found really worked is I would tell them, I want to get you in for 3 sessions. The first session was like a consult. And then in that consult, I'll be like, I really want to take you onto the gym floor, see how you move, get a gist of where you're currently at. And that was kind of like my leeway into trying to sell them.
So can I just like rip on them a little bit here? So correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how I remember it. So you have to do 3 So first of all, you have to pay them $310 a week to PT out of their gym. Cool. Everyone charge what you want. Amazing. Then you get a lead come through from the sales consultants, which that lead purchases those 3 free sessions. I think it's like 30 or 40 bucks that they pay. Doesn't really matter how much it is. You have to do them for free. Right? Now, if you're at the mercy of the sales consultants, right? So people come through, they say, would you be interested in PT, right? Some people say yes, some people say no. Now, if that sales consultant, for whatever reason, you're not tight with or whatever, you know what sort of leads you're getting, right?
Yeah.
So you're literally working for free. You're actually paying them to work for free out of their gym and hopefully sell. In my experience at one gym, they all were like 70 years old. They didn't want PT. Like they just wanted to go on the machines and like, anyway. And then another gym, I was more so friends with the sales consultants. I worked at Two Good Lives and I was getting great leads. But just to rip on the big box gym a little bit here, like, you know, they sort of neglect their PTs, you know. The fitness director will make a really nice, good fee, income when he signs on a PT.
Yeah.
Right? So they've always got way too many PTs, paying them so that the PTs can do free sessions. It's crazy.
And how many PTs would they have at one time?
Heaps.
So I was pretty lucky because when I signed up to this gym, it was really, really new. So the PTs were freshers, like they hadn't been there for ages. The consultants were new and it was in a really, really good location. And so at the start, it was like we just had like an influx of people just wanting to be coached, wanting a gym. So my experience is a little bit different because of the situation that I was presented with. Like, it was a new gym, and so everything was like very sparkly, and like I think that was what was really helpful for my transition from a boutique to a big box gym.
Yep.
I had a pretty good fitness director. She was great. And it wasn't, so you had the instance of, it was called the Kickstart. Do you remember?
Yeah,
I think they just hated you, Jay.
Yeah, no. I worked at two. The first one was like good.
Yeah.
The second one, I was just like, what is even the point of me being on this contract and paying? Like, actually, there's no point.
Yeah.
So I got both sides. Yeah.
But the 3 sessions that you were talking about were a Kickstart. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was those, but I was also very good with liaising my way through, like, just getting like a list of like people that were signing up. They actually offered that to us.
You can ask for it, yeah.
And so I just got those lists and just started making calls, whether they had a Kickstart or not.
It's great.
So
that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
In that environment, you have to do everything that you can.
Yeah.
You know, from walking around on the floor to literally cold calling them. Hi, I'm a PT. Like that
literally,
sort of vibe.
Yeah.
To doing those free sessions to sign them, because the money's coming out every week.
Yeah.
So you've got to just hustle.
It's obviously very different to what we do now, which is, we've built a brand and people get an insight into our beliefs, our philosophies. They get to see, I kind of like the look of that. I want to work with them.
Yeah.
We also have our target market here.
Yeah.
Like good life is, more of the, slightly different target market. You girls are hunting down girls that want to, change their lives, get strong, learn about food and improve, their relationship with food and themselves and their bodies. I don't feel like you go to Good Life for that.
No.
But yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a specific niche of people, Yeah. And I think that was what I really loved about it, is that it kind of gave me a better understanding of who I actually wanted to work with.
Gives you so much experience with like all different types of people though as well.
Yeah.
Which is good because, you want to have that experience with the difficult clients, the easy clients.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like it makes you a good, strong coach, which is what you are.
Thank you. But also like even just from a PT perspective, like I just don't really know how in this day and age people just decide they want to do online coaching. Because I think there is so much value in doing the face-to-face stuff. Yes, it's tedious. Yes, there's lots of hours involved, but I can hand on my heart say both Anthony and I have had 30-hour weeks.
Yeah, of just PT.
Just back-to-back PT. But I genuinely think that if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be the coach that I am today.
100%. I think you just don't know how... You can't know how to troubleshoot. Like the amount of times that you get a client in, you think that you're going to know how they're going to move or, I don't know, just how they're going to show up on the day, and you have to troubleshoot on the spot.
100%.
And that whole process is so much harder online.
Yeah.
So
Even just building a relationship.
Yeah, building a relationship.
I think, what was I going to say? Online, everyone wants to be an online coach. Like, great, everyone's got big dreams, shoot for the stars and stuff, but like it's like not just writing a program.
No.
Like you've got to build that relationship, you've got to really deep dive into the person, like you were saying before as well, like how they think, and try and figure out like what would suit them best. So we definitely have
just how they move. Like I think that was the biggest thing, is that like when we moved to online coaching, when I started with Thrive, it was like, it wasn't just as simple as correcting them on the spot. It was like a cue that might take, like an hour to fix in a face-to-face session might take 3 weeks to now for them to perfect. You know
Or
what
even
I mean?
like a minute of like troubleshooting, someone's squat or something.
100%.
But when you
Getting
come
the
from-
feedback in real life and changing it there and then.
Yeah.
But when you come from in-person PT sessions, it doesn't take you 3 weeks now.
No.
You know how to do it. Bang, all right, we know we need this
100%.
cue, right?
Yeah.
that's come from the experience of doing it in person,
Correct.
right?
Yeah. So there's
why it's good.
There's honestly so much value. I feel like it gets kind of like a bad rep at the moment to be like a PT in person, but there is so much value to face to face,
You girls
especially
do a lot
when
of both, right?
Yeah.
You guys do like plenty of in person, plenty of semi private, and plenty of online. And like I know from your guys, like from Thrive, that's like what a lot of females want as well, right? Because having that in person support for them, it's great. I mean, blokes do too, but I think females want it more, to be honest with you. So your guys' service is definitely like hitting the nail on the head with like what women need, you know?
I think that was like the biggest thing coming to Thrive is that I realized the importance of community and how many women actually crave that. And I think that's something that we do a really, really good job at.
Yeah.
Well,
We always say that we're sort of the coaches that we feel like we didn't have, and that's not to say
100%.
that the coaches that we had, okay, Jay, weren't amazing, but I don't know, like just woman to woman, like it's
100%.
just
Are you ripping me?
no. But let's go back to
Yeah, I know. I feel like we've like gone on a tangent. There's so many things.
How we met. So I met Mona at the boutique PT studio. I was doing my shadowing there for my PT course.
Yeah.
She was a trainer there. I was doing their front end stuff, social media, that sort of thing. We also realized that we were studying the same uni course, so we're both doing exercise science.
At the same uni as well.
We ended up doing like a unit together like that, like literally when we first met, like a class together.
Yes.
Which was...
Is that the universe?
Yeah, the universe.
Wow.
The angels working. That's right.
Jason. So I have a story to tell you. When I met Anth, it was like the open day at this boutique gym. I had like maybe like 1 or 2 conversations with her, right? But in the back of my mind, all I could think about was, I don't know how and I don't know when, but me and this girl are going to work together one day.
That's fucked.
How fucked is that?
The intuition.
The intuition was so high.
Yeah.
And this was all at a place that I had just got employed at. It was the open day, and that's what I was thinking.
There's too much universe here. There's university, there's the universe. There's just too much going on here. I'm getting tinked. No, I'm not.
So, yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah.
And like at the time, I was obviously coaching just at that boutique. You were also doing your own thing?
Yeah. I was still studying, and then I sort of became qualified, and then I ended up working out of like a big warehouse gym. That's where I started my PT business. And then as the years went on, during COVID, my business really grew, and I was like, I think I already explained this on my podcast, but I was sort of choosing between, you know, either hiring people more behind the scenes in my business to grow, but still being sort of the face. But I really, really wanted to build a brand and take another coach on board so we could actually service and work with more women on a deep level. That's what we care about. We're not wanting, well, I don't want to, and certainly not want to either, to work with women just like giving them a fucking meal plan and a training program. That's actually not what we do. We want to work with women on a deep level. So
100%.
that's where I offered Mona a job to come on board with Thrive in 2021.
Yeah.
And you were doing an internship with like S&C at the time as well, which is a whole nother thing.
Yeah. So I think it was like my last year at uni. I needed to do a placement. I ended up doing the placement at like this S&C place. And it was interesting. It was interesting because I don't really have a history of like sports. I played a lot of sports growing up, like swimming, tennis, basketball, gymnastics. Like I did it all, but nothing really stuck. Like nothing stuck. So when I came to doing an internship at S&C, and the only thing under my belt I had was training and a powerlifting comp, I really was like, it wasn't really like my
aligned.
Yeah, it wasn't aligned. It wasn't my niche. But it was definitely interesting. And I did really well there. Like I feel like the place really, really liked me. And to be honest, I think it got to a point where they were going to offer me a job, and that's when I kind of came to like a roadblock, because around the time they were going to offer me the job, Anthea also pitched to me that she really wanted to take on a coach. And so then it was kind of like this roadblock of, do I want to go down the route of S&C? Like, is that really where my passion is? Or do I really want to service women and help women? And is that where I'm most aligned to? And then, 3 years later, we're here.
You need to tell the story though of your first day. Your first day coming into, because we were also working out of strength culture at this stage.
Yes.
Your first day, who'd you meet?
Oh my God. So on the first day that I was working out of strength culture, that was the day that I also met Hattie.
Which is her beautiful partner.
Which is my fiance now. How crazy is that?
The universe.
The universe, Jace.
Straight universe.
So that was the first, so we were working out of culture. We worked out of culture for that 1 week. I met Hattie on the first day.
Who is your...
Fiance.
Not just partner.
Partner. Met Hattie on the first day that I was coaching, and then the following week.
Yeah, probably instant love.
Was it love at first sight?
It was more so. No, it was more so from a place of, hold on, I think he's Arab and I think he's Lebo. Yeah. And then I was like, Mona, this is your first fucking day at the job. You can't be looking at the guys. And so I was like trying to get. So that was the first week, and then we went into lockdown. Universe, man. I'm telling you,
it's crazy. Oh my God.
So that's that.
If you're listening, it's a thing.
The universe.
100%. That's I think the first time Jay said that.
Me.
I feel like we're just giving him that energy.
I'm trying to be a little bit sarcastic about it, but without being rude. Without being
rude. Just taking the piss out of it.
Without being rude. Just a little bit. I mean, look, it could be real. I don't know. I don't have the facts. But
you're superstitious when you want to be.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, you know.
But
I touch wood.
Also, everything happens for a reason. And everything that we've just spoken about happens for a reason.
Sometimes that reason could be you putting the work in, though.
Yeah, but that...
Yeah. Is what manifestation, the universe.
See, it's just too logical. We've spoken about this before. Jason.
You got to have a mix of universe and a mix of head down and go hard. You know
100%.
what I mean? Like you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to manifest X, but then do bugger all about it. You know what I mean? You got to put hours in. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I like to credit that to you instead of just some magical universe. That's just how I roll personally. I could be wrong. Sorry to all the girls out there.
Is
this cynical?
I need to just be... No, it's just very logical.
You have the power to do whatever you want. Don't put it in the universe's hands. Put it in your hands. That's how I think.
I think you're right. I think there is definitely an element of you need to put your head down and you need to do the work. But I feel like there is also an element of manifestation and
I think
everyone can believe what they want.
Well, that's okay. We can talk about what we believe in.
You go for it.
I think it's special because a lot of the time things happen outside of our control and, life's hard sometimes. And I think it's honestly really important to have something nice to fall back on and be like, you know what, the universe or whatever you believe in, has my back and I can see that this is happening for me. Yeah, even if we're a little bit delusional, I think it's nice. All right. So let's leave it at
that. No. You believe in what you want. I just think that there's probability, and what you guys call the universe, I call there was just a small chance of this happening, and it just happened. It's luck.
All right, we're going to move on to the next topic.
Anyway, we're all here. We all love each other. We're all doing what we love doing. So maybe the universe is real.
100%.
Definitely. So. Let's go back to your training more so as a lifter. So when we met at this studio, I just started with HUSLA and, I was watching you trying to get stronger with your training or whatever. I was like, you have to sign up with Jason.
Yeah. So at the time I didn't have a coach, and ironically, I remember having this conversation with you, Anth, and thinking as if she's a coach and then she also has a coach. Like the naivety. Yes, the naivety.
Wow.
And so
heaps of people think like
100%.
that. Heaps of people think like that.
100%. I remember having those thoughts. And then I remember you were like, look, I'm gonna pass you on to Jason.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying to me, he has a brand. His brand is called HUSLA. And I just...
It's not a very good first impression, is it? And it's still the name of all the brands.
And I just remember thinking, HUSLA? Who does this guy think he is?
Team HUSLA was at the time with the double S.
So I reached out to Jace. I want to ask you, do you remember the first time we met?
I got a very bad memory. I remember messaging you on Insta to like follow this up. The very first time we met, was that at Muscle City for a session? No, where was it?
So I don't know if my mind is like, I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah,
but
go.
Were you doing face to face back then when you met me? I think you were at Hammer House.
Yeah.
You were.
Did you come to Hammer House?
Yes.
No way. That's what Anthea came. Anthea came to Hammer House as
That was my first
well.
time meeting Jace.
There's a funny story for that as well.
I came to Hammer House, but before then, again, were you doing face to face?
I was doing. I used to
private.
do. I used to do some face to face,
Yeah.
but when someone wanted to sign on for online coaching, I thought, and I still do think it's like the best way you can go about it.
Yeah.
I would bring them in for an
Yeah.
assessment. We'd go through some of the things that they want to work on. I'd actually look at like if they have any pain and stuff. I'd actually do like passive, active range of motion assessments and stuff, and then figure out what a good like protocol is for them to strengthen in most people's cases. It's like, serratus, lower trap. Anyways, I would just fix people's shoulders and backs, and then that's how I signed them onto online. So I was doing assessments and some PTs at Hammer House too, and group sessions.
Yeah. I feel like
I believe you came to Hammer House.
Yeah,
Was it in a group session or was it in a PT?
No, so I feel like I said to you, I want to see you face to face and I want you to take me through a one-on-one session. So I came to Hammer House, we did that, and then you had your semi-private afterwards. Yeah.
Good times.
How crazy
So
is
long
that?
ago.
That was like 6 years ago, yeah.
Literally.
So long ago.
So you drove all the way from Eltham to Hammer House for this?
Yes. So that was my first like experience of driving your way.
Sick.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. I don't remember that, but I did definitely do a lot of like sessions prior to the group session because I like to be efficient and not have to drive to the gym back and forth a million
Yeah.
times. That was just me when I was 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy story.
Yeah.
Anthea came to Hammer House too.
Yeah, that was the first time.
Yeah.
When I like rocked
on,
up
say it,
again,
Tell
like
them.
I was coming from fucking the eastern suburbs as well, so it was like an hour long drive, and I rock up and like there was no fucking parking there, and I was like trying to find a park, and it was just very sunny that day. But Jason's face, he has a tendency to like scrunch it up, and like you were just like looking at me like this, and I was like,
probably the sun in my eyes,
My
man.
God, this guy hates me. But
probably
I
the
thought
sun
he
in
was
my
looking at
eyes.
me like this bitch doesn't even know where the fuck to park.
I was
like, what's her
pointing where you should
I know,
park, I'm
yeah,
pretty
but
sure.
you're pointing, but like doing it with a frown,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh gosh,
It was sunny.
Yeah.
Apparently I was really angry. I looked really
Yeah, you
angry
looked
that
very
day. I was
angry.
just focused, trying to be professional.
First impressions is
Yeah.
hard.
Is
But we're here-
everything
we're
always
here
hard?
now.
But it's
We're
also
here now.
hard.
yeah.
We're here now.
But anyways, that was my first impression
Good
of Jay.
times. Yeah, he
thought he was
must
very
be
angry.
so angry. Good
But you
times.
guys ended up doing a powerlifting comp.
Yeah,
together.
so Jay signed me on. Again, I think this was like revolutionary to my health and fitness journey. Like you taught me how to track. Before then, I didn't really know how to track. You got me so strong to the point where you were like, let's just do a powerlifting meet. So we did a powerlifting meet. Yeah, that was my experience with Jace.
Yeah, that was
I want to go.
good times. It was. I think we were together for at least like a year or two.
Yeah.
It was a long push.
Yeah.
And then Anthea poached her off me.
Wait, can we
approached
just
it.
pause here? Can you just What? Can we just pause here? Can you just admit to the fact that like I'm an OG?
You're an OG.
Yeah.
I'm an
She's an
OG,
OG
and
hustler.
I'm also one of the very first girls that you coached.
You're an OG.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Mon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
OG.
Anth
You got poached.
poached me.
Yeah, I poached you.
So Anthea poached. Do you want me to talk about it? Anthea poached Mona. I'll talk about it. I'm talking about it
If
already.
you want to, go for
So
it.
Anthea poached Mona off me. She stole one of my clients. like without me even knowing, like full on, like the doggest thing you could do.
Oh my God.
No. So that was the beginning of let's work together, from what I understand for you guys. So, Anthea, her thing was, all right, well, I'll coach you. You can see how we do things. I can teach you. You can use the spreadsheets, all that sort of stuff, and that'll be a really good segue into coaching. You're right? So anyone out there that's listening, if you want to work for Thrive Stronger, you've got to be a client first. So don't go dropping no resumes. I got no coach, or someone else coaches me. Hire the girls, learn how they do things, learn from them, and you've got the best chance.
And also, I knew Anne 3 years before she hired me.
Yeah.
So there was also that.
Yeah, 100%. What I was going to say before was I want to go back to the impression that you had of me because I had a coach, because I also didn't get a coach for a while, or at least I was self-coached for a long time because I thought that it looked better on my reputation if I learned everything myself and I didn't get any help from anyone else. Which is just so common, again, as a PT when you're getting into the industry.
100%.
Or just anyone, even if you've been in the industry for a while.
100%.
Now, having a coach and a mentor is only a good thing.
Only a
100%.
good thing, yeah.
Can we rip it back? You went back. I'm going back, like forwards now.
Yep.
Undo, redo. What were some of the different things that you really benefited from going from me, a male coach, to a female coach?
Oh, Jace, you were great.
Thank you. No, but
no.
Just
I'm
be honest,
gonna
rip him.
I haven't started yet.
Rip heavy.
I haven't started yet.
I can take it.
I haven't started yet. You were great, and again, you were such a great introduction to what a good coach is like.
Thank you.
And like, I have nothing negative to say about our coaching and what we achieved and everything like that. But there is something really fucking nice about having a female coach and having that nurturing side to her, having the level of care, like not that you didn't care, there's just something really nice about having that feminine energy that you can revert to. The other thing that I really loved about Anth is that there was a heavy focus on like mindset. There was a heavy focus on tuning in with your body and like really understanding how your body works, and that kind of leaks into like the menstrual cycle. Like that was something that we didn't really touch upon. But yeah, there is just like it was a really, really, it's like really beautiful to have a coach as a female.
There's you put your trust in another female that you know and you trust that they have been there, and they get it. You know what I mean? So it's something that like I will never fully understand. I learn about it and I do my best to understand, the female body and how all this sort of stuff works. But like, from an emotional standpoint, like I haven't gone through it. I haven't gone through being a female for 20 odd years.
I think there's a lot that you do as a coach to relate to your clients that you work with. Like for example, how many comps have you done? You can really relate to all of your athletes who are, getting up on the platform for the first time, or even if it is their fifth time. You know how to actually offer that advice because you've been there.
And I think it's also important to note, not every female need or would benefit from a female coach, but I think a lot of them would.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them would. Like I've got some girls that I coach that they just straight up give me what I need.
So different.
You know what I mean? That sort of vibe. But I think that the majority of females out there who have gone through what you girls have gone through, and they are exactly your target market, being like the girls who, maybe they don't believe that they can do it, or they're not sure how to begin, or all that sort of stuff. Like I think the female coach is just it's spot on for them. And like when people come through the doors here, like I'm always like, all right, like I think you should, work with one of our female coaches at Thrive, because I think that, those women would just benefit. A lot of women would just benefit, So, but anyway, that's again my story.
Yeah, you go.
I think like the biggest difference as well is that like when Anth took me on, it was so much more than just nutrition and training. It was like this almost like holistic approach to coaching, and it was like so much of my mindset. So much like mindset, training, nutrition, that was all like intertwined, but it was all done in a way that was like so holistic. And yeah, I think that's something that we do really, really well here, is that it's not
Yeah.
yeah, so
No, I only have good words to say
Yeah.
about you guys at Thrive. The level of detail that you guys go into, the amount of questions that you ask to actually get to the root of the problem and then resolve it from there. Like, yeah.
Thanks.
Thrive's
Pretty-
where it's
pretty
at.
good.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I want to ask you, what is your favorite part of being a coach?
Wow. Okay, so I think this was definitely learnt in the 3 years that I've been with Thrive. But with every woman that I meet, with every woman that I interact with every woman that I coach, it's almost like a new case study. And like another perspective is like, she's like a piece of a really, really big puzzle. And each piece is unique. Each piece is like intricate. Each piece is just different. And so as a coach, it's up to me to meet her where she is. It's to accommodate. It's to guide and to provide a service that's going to get her to the best of her abilities or to bring out the best version of herself. I think that's something that I've really learnt whilst being with Thrive, and it's like there's not one size fits all.
No, yeah. And
It's a different puzzle every time.
I
Yeah.
think, like, again, at the start of our, like, becoming a coach, you think that you've unlocked, you know, when you learn about macros or, you know, you learn about certain styles of strength training, you're like, no, I've got the answer.
Yeah.
Copy,
Right?
paste,
And I'm
everyone
going to,
bang.
Yeah.
and like, I just know that this is going to work for everyone. But when you're working with individuals
Yeah.
who are so different, you really need to change your approach to actually get the best result for the client.
100%.
That's I think that is amazing, and I think yes, and I think that there's also a space for people who just want to work with people who just want to try.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
If people want a
100%.
niche,
But you girls want to
Yeah,
help
yeah, yeah,
every
yeah.
girl you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
So for you have to just branch off in different directions and
100%.
provide different levels of, I guess, the service to
Service, yeah.
different people. You
But
know?
that's not to say that our niche, that we don't have a niche and like we just literally work with anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
Like we definitely still have like a certain sort of ideal client.
It's got to
that
be,
we
the
work
service
with.
has to be suited.
Yeah.
You know, they've got to want it as
Yes.
well. Like a lot of people come through, not just your doors, but our doors that, you know, they say that they want it, and it's our job to like make that happen. But sometimes it's just not right for them. You know, sometimes they need to go back and start from, you know, PT with a person in person, just start with 1 day a week. It's like maybe online coaching just isn't ready. You know, it's just not right for you just yet. I forgot where I was going with that, but
I think go.
I fully forgot where I even started with that.
I think like following on from that, like ideal clients and stuff like that, I feel like a lot of people, or sometimes you can get a client that comes in and they're like, I want to achieve X, Y, and Z, but they don't actually really understand what it takes to get there. And so the gap between wanting to get there is almost like too big, and even your guidance can't really facilitate the change that they're after.
Not immediately.
Yes.
It takes time.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's definitely possible.
But
Yes.
what I think I was trying to say before is a good coach has lots of different tools under their
Yes.
belt that they can, you know, whip out at the appropriate time
Yep.
instead of, you know, just slamming. No,
Forcing.
keep tracking your macros,
Yeah.
keep tracking your macros. Okay, if we also have a look at the fucking lifespan, are you actually going to be tracking
Yeah.
your macros to the T every single day for the rest of your life?
I'm going to try.
That's a lie. Anyways, so I think that it's important to have a couple of different strategies that you can utilize in those other times so that the client doesn't go so far off and away from their goals. So our ultimate goal is to have them be as consistent as they can with whatever strategy is going to be the best at that time.
What are your like main strategies that you quote unquote whip out for
Whip out.
most of your female clients?
Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, well, I guess we definitely believe in tracking and, you know, utilizing calories and macros and sort of organizing your food in your day to reach those targets. That's sort of one constraint. We also believe in having a more flexible approach with that, overall protein and calories, more of carb and fat ratios. We also really love, utilizing nutrition diaries where we're more so focusing on the qualitative side of nutrition, and we're not looking at it as much from the numbers side of things, and that's actually very beneficial for a lot of women. And that's not to say that that's a forever thing either. It might only be something that we sort of use in between for certain periods of time, but we're actually looking at their diet and like, hey, you're actually not eating any vegetables or you're not eating any fruit, or your protein, you're only having one portion of protein for dinner. So you can still honestly squeeze so much out of that. And
I think that's the best. I think that's one of like the most important places to start with almost anyone. And I started the other way. I started with just protein, carbs, fats straight off the bat, and like fiber was low, fruit and veg was low, and then I was like, what the hell? Like I need to get my fruit and veg up, my fiber up. Now we start the other way. We start with fruit, veg, fiber, and then go into the calories. And I believe you girls do the same thing, right? There's no point like really.
Just depends on the client.
Yeah, for sure. But there's you want to be ticking those guidelines, straight off the bat, like trying to get, fruit, veg, fiber, because that usually just fixes most of the problems, right? You get fiber, fruit and veg up, they eat less or lose weight. Like that just happens without even needing to go down the calorie route.
They're more satiated, they're less likely to be overeating on other stuff. It's improving their nutrition.
Eating better quality
food. It's improving their nutrition without having that mindset of, I need to cut out carbs, I need to cut out indulgent foods, this, that. So
don't cut anything out unless you're like,
just keep adding. You need to be adding.
Unless you're like celiac, like don't cut anything out. You know what I mean? Just eat a good spread of everything. Enjoy what you eat. Go out for dinners here and there. Enjoy your life. Just do most of the weeks well, and things will move nicely.
And that's what we're trying to do, is that we're trying to create like this lifestyle where you can get your goals, but you can also live like this fun, freedom-based, flexible kind of lifestyle too.
Yep. Rigidity is not the answer.
No.
Unless you're like a few weeks out from comp.
Unless you're literally...
If you're a bodybuilder, you got to really knuckle down. Anyway.
So the other question I have is, what is some advice that you would give to someone who wants to have a successful fitness journey?
So the first thing that comes to mind is, if you feel like you know it all, you probably don't. And so this is where I would say invest in someone that has done your journey so that you can get the skills, the tools, the knowledge to get to the place that you want to get to. I think that's a really important one, because I feel like a lot of my life I spent like chasing my own wheels, and it was from a place of not knowing how to get there. And the quickest way to get somewhere is to
get guidance.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that this is such like a meme of an analogy, but like you wouldn't get like a physio to come and like fix your lights at home. Like you'd get an electrician, right? The physio's spending their whole day learning to be a physio, not to freaking do wiring in the roof, right? Just like we spend like over 40 hours a week coaching and learning about how to coach and being good coaches. So having that shoulder to lean on, someone who's experienced, whether they've done it themselves or not, whether they've helped someone else do it themselves, they're the professional in that field. That's how I like to see us,
100%.
I'm also just laughing a little bit because every single podcast so far, like I said it, I was like, if you're coming into the industry, you don't have a coach, get a coach. Cam said it in the last episode. I asked you a question, you say
relevant.
it. But
it's so relevant.
It's
just make sure they're not a spud.
And you'll learn very quickly if they are. So you just got to invest. You got to invest good.
I mean, do we want to keep talking about this? Because I could talk about it.
I feel like we've hammered it in every single episode. So
Okay.
Sorry. If you would, no, don't apologise. You can keep talking about it. Go for it.
It's probably been hammered. I roll on. Lockie's giving us a thumbs up. But if you're spending, we were talking a little bit about this last night on the way home, Anthea. For those of you guys out there that don't know, me and Anthea drive separate cars, but I sometimes force her to come with me. So she came with me last night so we could talk in the car, which is cool. And we're talking about like how undervalued like everything that we do is, like from a gym membership to coaching. It's so undervalued. Like you're spending 5 to 15 hours a week in a gym. Yeah. And you pay $20 to $40 for a gym membership. Like
it's not
what's that, like $3 an hour? You know what I mean? Like it's an amount of time that you are spending out of your week, which if you're spending that much time, it's up there with your priorities.
Wait,
right?
how many hours did you quote?
5 to 15.
Okay, good.
If you're a power lift, I was doing 20 hours, like provided I was like taking a long rest, I was quite beat up, you know, been a long day of work, I'd take my time with my training, right? But you know, 5 hours, 4 days a week, that's an hour and 25 minutes, 4 days a week, all right?
It's
that's
a place where
hours.
a lot of people spend a lot of time.
100%.
It's not only the time, it's what are you actually investing in getting out of that? Like it's actually invaluable.
100%.
The effect
Your
that it has
health.
on your mental health, your social health, your physical
away.
well-being. Take it away.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
It's not just your physical health. It's not just getting the bikini body. It's so much more than that, and it has such a long-lasting impact on your overall health and longevity.
It's seen as like a luxury service, but I don't see it that way. I
No
see it as like,
way.
if
The
you're spending
bare
that much
minimum.
time
Yeah.
there, this is not a luxury for you. This is one of your hobbies,
Yeah.
and this is something you take seriously.
For sure.
And getting in a good gym, if it's a little bit more expensive, HUSLA gym, that's where it's at. Plug it. But it's a good gym where like, you know, you don't have dudes like staring you down, you know, interrupting you, trying to pick you up. Like that's not what we do here. You know what I mean? You've got good quality equipment that's like double the price of any other gym's equipment, right? The gym is putting money back in. Like that's what we do here. That's why we created HUSLA Gym, right? But you're spending hours in a gym. That little bit extra on a gym membership and that little bit extra to have a coach when it's your priority, one of your main priorities and one of your main hobbies. I just think we're so undervalued, you know? I think it's such an
100%.
important thing to have if you're spending that time in the gym and you're like doing this stuff. It's like so many hours out of your week, you know what I mean? Why not
100%.
invest a little bit of money into it and make sure that every hour that you spend is spent doing the right stuff with the support that you need, the correct equipment and the good environment, everything that you need, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
And not
that's what we
just
were talking about last
spending,
night.
not just spending. Oh, I'm gonna, sign up at Good Life, and I'm gonna just walk on the treadmill.
Yeah.
and then
Especially
go home.
if cardio isn't actually your goal.
Yeah,
Just like a good life, like, you know, as a PT, like, and our target, we're not going to find like our target or many of our target clients at Good Life. Just like if you're going to Good Life as a consumer, as someone who's using Good Life, you're probably not going to find like-minded individuals around you on the same journey as you. You've got to come to a gym like HUSLA, or, you know, if you want to be like a strength lifter that's on good equipment with bodybuilders around you, inspiring people, you go to a gym like that. You know?
But also, like, we've all done our times where we did go to, like commercial gyms.
yeah, I trained out
I did
at
so
years.
many
trained out at
years,
the
yeah.
gym for
But this is-
4 or 5 years.
So many years.
This is why we're speaking from this angle, because we've been there and we realized the benefits of going
a
to a
good
gym that's
environment.
suited, or having a coach that's suited. And now we sit here and we go, you guys need to do the same thing. You know,
exactly
this would
right.
elevate everything that you do without you spending any more time in the gym, any more effort. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your first introduction to powerlifting gyms?
Powerlifting gyms was
boutique gyms.
Okay, so I'll take you through the journey as quickly as I can. So I started at
This is the Jason
YMCA
podcast.
when I was like 16. I think I was even sneaking in when I was 15 because you had to be 16 at least with parent guardian signature. So I was getting into there at like 15, 16. That was in Caulfield. Then I moved to, I believe it was Belly Fitness Centre. Did Belly Fitness Centre. Then I got my license. So then I moved to Brighton Anytime Fitness, which is around the corner from home.
Yeah.
I did years at Brighton Anytime. I worked there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Went to Europe, I did 6 months of landscaping. During that time, I actually met Charlie and Jamie from Strength Culture. I met Charlie on a night out at like a big trance event.
What?
At what was it called?
Reminisce?
It was the one that got shut down because everyone was like
Picnic.
half dying. Nah, I forgot what it was called.
Dying. Oh.
It was called Electric Parade.
Nice,
Electric Parade. Well done.
Log nose.
So I met Charlie then, had a good night, and then that's when I moved to Hammer House. So
Right.
Hammer House was like the first introduction
Intro,
to like,
yeah.
you know, not just straight pre-core equipment,
Yeah.
you know, like, and like all that sort
Yeah.
of vibe. Hammer House was like, oh, there's some freaking jacked dudes
Yeah.
here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then that's when I started powerlifting with the boys. So that was
Yeah.
my first introduction to those gyms and powerlifting. And then it was strength culture, and then strength culture, a little bit of Muscle City in the middle there.
Yeah.
Now Hustler.
Yeah.
Yep. Hustle
And-
till we die, baby.
Like only Hustler now.
Yeah.
It's,
And
I started training from South Pacific. That was where I joined when I was like 16,
Yeah.
which is actually, it was the South Pacific, and then I changed ownership to like another commercial owner. But I trained there for like 4+ years
Yeah.
almost, and that's where I started doing all my powerlifting style training. I'd always get like weird looks
wow.
because, you're lifting heavier.
Yeah.
And you just feel a bit weird.
I mean,
That's not to say that I was like crazy strong and,
Yeah.
no, but I just definitely felt like, a lot of people were coming to the
Curious.
gym and going on the treadmills, and you get more looks and you
Yeah.
do feel it's just different compared to when you come into a gym where everyone's
Doing very similar things.
Yeah.
from like the gym one, from like the actual difference from like a gym standpoint is like those gyms have to buy Matrix, they have to buy Life Fitness, Hammer Strength. Like that's the agreement that they have with the franchise. So they are stuck within those rules of they can only buy X equipment, right?
Yeah.
And when you go to a privately owned gym like Strength Culture or Hustler, we can buy whatever equipment we want.
Yeah.
Like that's why we have the Prime, Atlantis, Nautilus, all these other pieces that one, stand the test of time, and two, are the new age equipment that just does the job a million times better. So from like that sort of standpoint, like the gyms are different because they like there's no way that
They're on the
those
same
commercial
level.
gyms can have the same stuff that
Yeah.
we have, or that other high quality
It's
gyms
like
have.
little things though. Like for example, that first gym, they had all the weight storage on the rack, so you can't even like hook. You know how you've got the J hooks,
Yeah.
and you can usually like say put the J hooks on and rack the bar so that you can do an RDL. The fucking weight storage was there. Like who
No
designs this
way.
shit and who agrees? Like that's what I mean. Like just being in different gyms over
Yeah.
the years has got us to learn the things that we do and don't like, and that are
100%.
just straight out stupid.
Even just like simple, like if you're lifting like heavy, you want to do some strength training, you can't even like take your shoes off and wear like your socks or like anything like that in a gym like that,
But-
whereas you come to Hustler, like you can wear like your deadlift slippers, or if you want to
Yeah.
go barefoot, you can do that, right?
Even the bars are different, Jace. Like
everything.
everything. Like
Everything. You can't buy Rogue if you're a commercial
No,
gym.
yeah.
You can't buy Eleiko if you're a commercial gym. Well, I think maybe they can Eleikos, but no one's paying $2,000 for a barbell unless
Yeah.
you're a powerlifting gym.
And that's like a big thing, especially if you are doing like SBD. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Jason's golden question.
Oh,
Oh, are we
God.
there already?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Oh, I'm nervous for this. This is like, I don't know what this is going to be, especially coming from Jace. All right, hit me.
What do you love about me?
Everything.
That's Anthea's.
That's Anthea every night before bed. Can you tell me 3 things that you love about me?
Oh my God.
Would you love me if I was a lampshade? No, she doesn't do that. She doesn't
Would
do
you
that.
love me if I was a worm?
She doesn't do that. No, so my question is, we don't know if it's going to get the axe yet. It might, it might
Okay.
not. But when you move on from this world, what do you want to be remembered for?
Wow. This is introspective, Jace. This is very deep.
You like it?
I feel like it's a question that I'm going to have to think about, but I kind of like that. So is it...
3 out of 3, it's 50%. 50% of the crew here like it, 50% don't like it.
Wait, who said they don't like it?
Okay, so me and Lockie like it. You apparently like it. That's 3 of 6. Now, Anthea, Cam, and Sawan
I don't like it.
Okay.
I'll tell you why after.
Okay, wait. So the question is, how do you want to be remembered after you pass on? Okay. I want to be remembered as this nurturing person. I want to be remembered as someone who was in service and really loved to help people. I want to be remembered as someone that brought light into people's life.
Definitely true.
Thank you.
Back that.
Oh, James, that's so nice.
Every time Mona walks into the room, it just lights up.
Yeah, it's like sunshine.
Guys, that's so sweet. I want to be remembered as someone that has the best interest in everyone. And I want to be remembered as someone that went after what she wanted.
Slay.
I definitely think you do all of those things.
Wow, thank you. I think that's it. That's a good question.
You like
That was a
it?
good
I actually
answer
really
as well.
like
I
it.
struggled to answer it. I was like,
Really?
Jace, you can answer it for me.
Did you?
We need to play like a penalty shootout on this question and like figure out.
Yeah,
You know,
have like some
It's 3
scores.
from 3 now,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So I just personally think that like how do you want to be remembered? It's like more so asking from someone else's perception. And I
Wow.
think that the way that I at least try to lead my life is, it's based on perception of others, but it's more so what feels right for me and how I want to show up. But it's not more so how I'm like being perceived and like, I don't know. I just find the question itself just like has this thing of like, oh, like I want to be
Fakeness.
remembered by someone that's noble and this and that. When, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people also have cognitive dissonance between how they actually show up and how they think that they're perceived as well.
Yeah.
So that's where I think this question is.
I just like to see what drives people to be themselves. Like,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's easy to be a prick sometimes, you know what I mean? So it's good to know that like your values lie in being nurturing and all that sort of stuff, you know what I mean? So and that keeps you aligned, you know? So
Yeah.
that's why I like the question, but might cop the axe. See how we go.
I think it's a great question.
We need to do
Killer.
the giveaway.
Oh,
So
crazy.
giveaway for CAMS,
Giveaway.
free program from last week.
Yep. So the Polish killer beast Cam is giving away $290 worth of value in a. I got to stop getting away from the microphone there, don't I, Lucky? So he's going to be giving away a completely individualized program and consultation for free. Who wants to pick it, Mona? You can pick
Mona.
it.
Oh, is that 2? No. Frankie!
Frankie. Sick. Unbelievable. We're doing another giveaway.
Yes, so we're doing another
Every week.
giveaway. We'll have a program, free TS custom program.
Valued at
$200 plus a 15-minute consultation as well.
Nice.
It's a very customized program. So we go, as you can already tell by this episode and what we do, we go deep into understanding you.
Is it women only?
Yes.
Yes.
Women only. Like, if you want to go into the draw and you're a male, you can by sharing it. We're going to do sharing the podcast.
Yep.
Okay.
But if you win it as a male, you can gift it to a female
I like
in your
it.
life.
Yeah, that's nice.
Or
Let's
if you
do
already
that.
have a coach and you're not after, like, getting a program from us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can give the value in other ways,
Yeah.
Come down to the gym a few times and stuff
Yep.
like that.
Yeah.
But if you want to win a program, consultation, fully customized, individualized by
Monale.
the queen herself, Mona, all you have to do is share the podcast, send a screenshot of you sharing it to Lockie. Still, the odds are 25% chance of you winning it until more people share it. So it's a very high chance that you're going to win it. So get amongst it.
At HUSLA Media. Yeah, what's the...
You got to send it to @HUSLA on Instagram. A screenshot
And send
of
the
it. Send a
screenshot to
screenshot. Yeah, you can
confirm
share it on
your
any
entry.
platform. So pause it, share it, tell everyone you love it, 5-star us, do all of the good things, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, we're going to be giving you these episodes every 1 to 2 weeks. We think we're going by every 2 weeks now, but we're going to bring it to weekly. We're finding our feet with it, and we're really loving sitting down here and doing these. So get amongst it, give us all the stars that you can. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you guys. Thanks for coming
Really
on, Mona.
appreciate you having me on.
And we will catch you in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, ready to draw the new winner. We're going to be talking with Slang Warren,
Yes, we're gonna-
Marcus Sawan next week, so the week after. So tune in. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Oh my goodness.